Hi guys, this is Harry Hoffman. Today is week 2, day 3 of our series of Member Care Foundations. We talk about mental health and counseling. So today, to start with, I give you a whole list of possible topics that fit into the mental health and counseling topic. Anger, anxiety, attrition, children's adjustment, compassion fatigue, conflict, confrontation, contentment, coping with change, culture shock, culture stress, danger, and risk, depression, difficult leaders, dissatisfaction, expectation, forgiveness, generational differences, grief, guilt, happiness and envy, healing of memories, loneliness, narcissism, panic attacks, passive-aggressive behavior, perfectionism, pornography, psychological testing, reconciliation, rejection and betrayal, relationships, rumors, saying goodbye, sexual abuse, sexual stress, suffering, suicide, trauma, post-traumatic stress disorder, and critical incident stress debriefing. And there is more. While being in China, we worked a lot in the Chinese countryside. And there, in the past, you had communities, villages, extended families, and they took care of each other. But since the urbanization, a lot of the mid-aged people, women and men in the working age, they moved to the big cities to work. And so the urbanization kept the villages empty. And who is left are the old people and the very young people. And the whole social care system that was naturally there in the past is falling apart. And people who need help, they can't find help. Who need social support, they cannot find social support. And so that has been a big change in the Chinese countryside, and is a typical example for the consequences of urbanization worldwide. I myself was involved in conflict situations where I first needed help myself, and then I needed someone to help us communicate with each other. And those were also counselors who did that. Another situation I was involved was maybe around 2002. The Afghanistan people, the aid community, was evacuated out of Kabul in Afghanistan, and they came to Thailand, and I worked with them, I debriefed them, I listened to their trauma and their experiences of evacuation. The same also after the Sichuan earthquake in 2008. I worked with the aid workers in the earthquake and worked through their experiences, through their strong emotional impact that had on their lives. But mental health and counseling is much more than debriefing. Let me explain to you very easily what mental health actually is all about. So we'll use the circles created by the Living Wholeness team. You can find a link below. And mental health means that you are healthy. It means that you are able to cope with life, your work is fruitful, and you can relate to other people. So that is what healthy means. And sometimes this is out of balance. Sometimes life is out of balance. You cannot work, you cannot relate to people healthily, and you cannot take care of yourself healthily. You might even be in danger of yourself, like you might put yourself in danger or others in danger. And then life is out of balance. So the model I share with you differentiates the whole person into 5 different parts. Each person has a spirit, has a heart, has a mind, has a physical and a social life. And all of these areas need to be in balance. And sometimes things happen to us in our physical lives, in our mind, in our heart, and in our spirit. Like, for example, you move overseas and you have nightmares and you see spiritual things at night, and then all of a sudden this area of your spirit is challenged. And that has an effect on your heart, on your heart, and that again has an effect on your mind and on your thinking, and that has an effect on your physical behavior and your well-being, and that again has an effect on your social life. Okay, and then things are out of balance. And mental health professionals are trained to look at all these 5 areas in your life, and they help you to go back to a balanced life. This is what mental health means. Things that are out of balance go back into balance. This can be a very long process, by the way. But mental health professionals are trained to help you get back into balance, if you want to receive help, of course. Another example is teenagers who self-mutilate. In high school, for example, teenagers, they cut themselves or they stop eating or they overeat, which has a physical consequence on the teenagers. And a mental health professional will then be able to not only look at the physical, but also look at the thinking, the mind, the heart, the love, the identity, the spiritual relationship with God, and also the social relationship this teenager has. And based on this map, we'll be able to walk back with this teenager and the family to find the balance again. Living overseas in another country is very stressful, and this stress can trigger past memories and past stress in our childhood or in our early lives. And so this can result in heart racing, this can result in overthinking, this can result in a big identity crisis, in a spiritual crisis, which then also results in a social crisis, isolation, self-hate. I don't want to have anyone in my life, etc. Mental health professionals, again, are trained to walk back with you, with the client, in a safe way to find back the balance. This is the way I explain myself, mental health and counseling. By the way, Ron Koteski on his Missionary Care website has a long list, as you can see here, what missionaries ought to know, and he covers many of the mental health issues like burnout. You click on burnout and there you get a brief article, what is burnout and what causes it and how you can treat it. So this is really beautifully made. Narcissism, really helpful. Narcissism, what is it? How can you see it and how can you treat it? So it's short, it gives you an overview, and it's as an initial step into a certain topic. You can even download the PDF, print it out. I've done this for years at conferences. I printed this out and put it out as a free resources for conferences, as a member care tool for the missionaries. There are conferences like Mental Health and Missions Conference every year in the US, and they bring together the mental health professionals and the mission community to hear from each other and to create resources and to share resources. It's a wonderful conference and great resources. There are seminars as well, counseling and member care, that bring those together. And many of you are working in that field of counseling. And so I want to congratulate you. You are needed, you are important, and it's a fabulous work you are doing. Many of you got involved because of your own story. Many of the counselors working in missions today, they get into counseling because they have received help first. And then based on the help, they realize, wow, others need these kind of resources too. And so I get trained, I get licensed, and now I can go out and help others in a professional manner. And so that's really great. I've been working with psychiatrists, with clinical psychologists, with counselors, and with medical doctors. And they not only serve the foreign mission community, but also the local community. And so that was very fruitful. I think about the book Where There Is No Doctor, Where There Is No Psychiatrist. I put the link below. And we need professional people who are trained and skilled in this certain way to help the needy community. And often missionaries, cross-cultural workers are in major need of this. And also often the local communities are in major need of this. And so good on you, kudos to you. Amazing that we have you around us and that you offer your skills and your training to the mission community worldwide to serve and equip the workers that are on the field. Thank you guys so much. So today we talked about mental health and counseling. Tomorrow we'll talk about be still and know. That's a different model of care that I want to introduce to you. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.